Monday is partly cloudy and warmer, high 55 to 60. Monday night, fair, low in the lower 30s. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high in the middle 50s, and right now in Kearney, Nebraska, it is 47 degrees.
91 Kick FM. Undoubtedly this planet's hottest rock.
Dámelo. Tequila.
Tequila. Tequila. Dámelo.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lewis Field in Hays, Kansas. Kearney State College taking on Fort Hays State. Today is Parents' Day at Lewis Field. Kearney State comes into the game with a 3-4 record. Of course, they had last weekend off. They are 1-1 in the CSIC. Fort Hays State is 2-6 overall on the year, and in the CSIC they are 1-0. Last week, Fort Hays State took on Wayne State University, and they defeated them by the score of 38-7. And the week before that, Kearney State beat the Wayne State Wildcats 20-7. So it looks like we have a good matchup set for Lewis Field this afternoon. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups for Kearney State. On the offensive scheme, we have number 80, Donnie Lee, a tight end. Number 72, Scott Biddlecombe, he's a left tackle. 61 is Dennis Faze, he's a left guard. 57 is Scott Ford, he's the center. 71, Paul Mundell, he's the right guard. 79 is Tom Bryn, he's the right tackle. Number 20, Doug Banks, the split end. Number 13, Russ Harvey, is a quarterback. 45 is Brad Aerosmith, the fullback. 30, Greg Smits, the tailback. And number 15, Scott Meyer, the slot back. That is the probable starting lineup for the Lopers on offense. Taking a look at the Fort Hays State defense. Number 55, Andy Atkins, he's a defensive end. Number 60 is Mike Richards, defensive tackle. Number 68, Kevin Weber, he's a nose guard. Number 83, Greg Yost, someone to look out for today. He's a defensive tackle. 47 is Rick Ashbrenner, a defensive end. 97 is Doug Holdhouse, a linebacker. 57 is Brian Stent, a linebacker. 18 is Rob Grundell, a cornerback. Number 10 is Ken Dean, a strong safety. 24 is Kurt Dinkle, a free safety. And 27, another guy to look out for, Mike Allen. He is the cornerback for the Fort Hays State Tigers. Well, looks like we're ready to begin action here at Lewis Field. The clock is set with 15 minutes on the scoreboard.
From Tucson, Louisiana, number 37.
And it looks like we have a pretty packed house on the Fort Hays State side of the field. And the other side, we can see some blue and gold over there for the Kearney State Lopers. Taking a look at how the Lopers have been doing this year. Of course, they had last week off. They were idle that week. The week before, as I said, they defeated Wayne State 20-7. The week before that, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, they lost a close one, 19-13. Week before that, they were at home playing Emporia State. They lost that one 34-7. Week before that, they were on the road at West Texas State. They lost that ball game 45-28. Morehead State was at the Lopers on September 16th. They defeated them by 2 points. That was a thrilling game if you were there. They beat Morehead State 24-22. On September 9th, of course, they avenged earlier losses to UNO, defeated UNO 17-14. And the beginning game of the year for Kearney State, they played Northern State of South Dakota, and they lost a close one, 23-20. And of course, Northern State had kicked a field goal on like almost the last play of the ball game there. Darren Grauerholtz getting ready to kick off to the Fort Hays State Tigers. This is Herb Brown on KSTV. I might want to remind you that. people to watch out for this afternoon on Fort Hays State side of the field. The quarterback, Milt McGriggs, he's a good one. He has 927 yards passing this year, 9 touchdowns. And Tyrone Tracy, another speedster to look out for as the ball slips off the tee there. Darren Grauerholtz going out to tee it up once again. Tyrone Tracy, as I said, from Fort Hays State, he's someone to look out for. He's already set a couple school records at Fort Hays State, and he could set 3 more this afternoon. And we're underway at Lewis Field. There goes the bomb going off. Number 86 has the ball. He returns it up to the Fort Hays State 29-yard line. That was a nice 10-yard return for Fort Hays State. As I said, offensively, Fort Hays State is not too bad of a team, but defensively, they've been giving up quite a few yards, so it looks like the Lopers offense could have a good day this afternoon. Tyrone Tracy on the year, 26 receptions, 473 yards, and 9 touchdowns. 20 kick returns, 533 yards, and 1 touchdown. Milt McGriggs hands under center, and the ball's hiked. He pitches back to number 11. He cuts up the field. Looks like he's going to lose about 2 yards on that play. Good pursuit by number 55 for Kearney State, Darren Gunn. On the Loper side of the field, the leaders in tackles for Kearney State. Dan Gall, the free safety, has 47 tackles on the year. Defensive tackle Kurt Metzger, number 99, has 38 tackles. And Milt McGregor, hands under center as he gets ready for the snap of the ball. Looks like somebody jumped on that play as the yellow flags go up. Looks like we're going to have offsides on the offense. They're going to go back 5 yards. So Kearney State starting out pretty good this afternoon. Shut them down on the first play, and they go back 5 yards. So we now have 2nd down and 16. The ball is on the 27-yard line of Fort Hays State.
2nd down and 16, Fort Hays State.
Milt McGregor, hands under center. They're in the I set. He goes back, looks like he's going to pass. He's rolling out to his right side, and he tucks it up and runs upfield. 17, Scott Woodward, and 55, Darren Gunn in on the tackle. They stop him at the old line of scrimmage, the 29-yard line. So we're going to have 3rd and 10 with the ball on the Fort Hays State 28 or 29-yard line. 29, let's call it. A man split to the left side of your screen, number 30. Milt McGregor getting ready. And he goes back, looks like he's going to pass. He's rolling out to the left side. No, he's going to tuck it up, and he's tackled by 99, Kirk Metzger. So, Kearney State shuts down Fort Hays State on their first possession. Going back to receive the punt is number 6 and number 20. Number 6, DJ Vokalek, and number 20, Doug Banks.
4th down, Fort Hays State.
Banks, of course, the speedster, somebody to watch out for this afternoon.
And Doug Banks back to receive for the Antelopes. Reuter back to kick for the Tigers.
And the ball snapped back. Oh, it's bobbled. He still gets a kick away. And it's going to bounce. Kearney State player better watch out, get out of the way. And a good roll for Fort Hays State back to the 16-yard line of the Antelopes. So Fort Hays State comes out of that smelling like roses, actually.
Kick for John Reuter. Kearney football.
There was no way that Banks or Vokalek could have handled that one, so it was best just to let that thing roll. Kearney State on their first possession, they'll start from their own 17-yard line, I guess is what they're calling it. 1st down and 10, 11:58 left in the first quarter. Russ Harvey, hands under center, man in motion, Scott Meyer to the right side. He pitches back to number 30, Greg Smits, and he tucks it up for about 1 yard. let's call that 2 yards. Ball just under the 20-yard line of the Lopers. So we'll have 2nd down and 8, ball marked on the 19. Donnie Lee comes out and Greg Smits comes out. Now we just have one man in the backfield. That's 45, Brad Aerosmith. Russ Harvey, hands under center. Man in motion, and he hands off to Aerosmith. Aerosmith up the middle for quite a few yards, and that's going to be called a 1st down. Aerosmith up to the 33-yard line.
Kurt Dingle with the tackle. 1st down, Kearney State.
And that will give the Lopers a 1st down. Russ Harvey calling the signals. He's under the center. Man in motion, Travis Valine, excuse me. And a good tackle by 83, Greg Yost. As I said, he's someone to look out for, along with 27, Mike Allen. However, there's a flag on the play.
Stop. Penalty flag is down.
And let's see what the referee's call. It's called holding on Kearney State, and that will probably be declined. Kearney State on offense has a pretty balanced attack this year. So far in 7 games, they've been averaging 148.6 yards passing and 144.3 yards rushing. So just about a 50-50 split there, and they do take the penalty. So it will now be 1st and 20, the ball marked on the 20-yard line of the Antelopes.
1st and 20, the Kearney 20-yard line.
Kearney breaks the huddle. Doug Banks split to the top part of the screen. Russ Harvey calling the count. And he pitches it back to number 30, Greg Smits, and Smits tackled immediately. Swarming defense for the Tigers of Fort Hays State.
Kevin Weber with the tackle for the Tigers, 2nd down, Kearney.
And Travis Valine checks into the ball game for Kearney State. Russ Harvey, hands under center. He's getting ready to call the count. Travis Valine in motion. Eye set. Harvey rolls out to his right side. He tucks it up under and tackled by number 27, I believe. That's Mike Allen, if it is. Yes, number 27. That's Mike Allen for Fort Hays State.
Carry for the Antelope. On the top, Mike Allen.
Kearney State just not being able to get unleashed since they got that 1st down.
14 for a 1st down.
3rd and 14, looks like Kearney State is in a passing situation. Kearney in the pro set. And Harvey rolls back. He's under some pressure, tucks it up. And he throws it upfield to Travis Valine. What a catch. Number 16, Travis Valine. Remarkable catch by that young man. Valine on the year before the start of this game had 21 receptions, 433 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's 20 yards, over 20 yards per catch. So he is another threat besides Doug Banks for Kearney State. Doug Banks has 22 receptions this year for 335 yards. That's just under 17 yards a catch. And we did have a flag on that play.
Pass interference against
Pass interference.
Declined.
It's declined, and Kearney State has a 1st down. So Russ Harvey under pressure that time, got it away, and Travis Valine came up with a wonderful catch. 1st and 10, a ball on the 43-yard line of the Kearney State Antelopes. 8:52 to go in the first quarter. Harvey calling the count and hands it up to Aerosmith. Doesn't get much at all. 1 or 2 yards.
With a 1st down carry.
Ball marked at the 44-yard line of the Antelope, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9. And a couple new lopers check in. That's Herman Fuller, Greg Smits, Travis Valine split to the right side. Doug Banks split to the left side. Harvey rolls. Oh, it's fumbled by Herman Fuller. He still covers the ball, runs upfield, and it's a nice gain. Unbelievable. Harvey handed off to Fuller, and he dropped the ball on the turf. It bounced right up to him. He picked it up and kept running with it. First down for Kearney State. So, Coach Boroff calling the plays down there. He's in his 13th year this year. 112, 57, and 3 is his record. Harvey calling the count, the eye set. And he hands it up to Aerosmith, who gets 1 or 2 yards. Looks like he gets about 2 yards.
Brad Aerosmith with the carry.
So it looks like it's tough running up the middle for Kearney State so far. They've had to use the pass and use the ends to get any yardage.
On the tackle, Kevin
Donnie
Weber
Lee
and
checks
Kevin
into the
Wright.
ball game for Kearney State.
The Kearney second down.
This game pits John Vincent of Fort Hays State against Claire Boroff. Of course, Kearney State has won the last couple of years. Harvey pitches back to number 30, Greg Smits, who's tackled almost immediately by number 47 for Fort Hays State. Rick Ashbrenner, he's a freshman, believe it or not, playing defensive end. Travis Valine checks into the ball game for Scott Meyer, and those two run plays in constantly for each other, so they're always coming in and out of the game. Ball marked at the 43-yard line of the Fort Hays State Tigers. And Harvey fumbles the ball almost, regains it, and he's wrapped up.
On the quarterback back and the action for the Tigers. Fourth down, Kearney State.
Kearney State in a punting situation, 4th and 8. The ball on their 48-yard line.
Tyrone Tracy and Ken Dean deep for the Tigers.
Kearney State ready to punt the ball away, and he got it away. It's a pretty decent kick. Number 23 for Fort Hays State gets the ball and finds an opening.
Tyrone Tracy with the return.
Tyrone Tracy, as I said, number 23, someone to watch out for, especially he's a back just like Doug Banks. He can break away when he has to.
20-yard return.
It's a 20-yard return for Tyrone Tracy. And as I said, he can set 3 records today. He already owns a couple Fort Hays State records. Milt McGregor with the hands under center. And he hands off to number 41, who is wrapped up. And we have a flag on the play.
28, Greg Smith with
Wrapped up by 28, Greg Smits. As I was saying, Tyrone Tracy can set 3 more Fort Hays State records this afternoon. He needs 2 more punt return attempts. He doesn't have to get any yards. All he needs is 2 punt return attempts, and that will set a record. He needs 1 touchdown to be the all-time touchdown, to have the all-time touchdown total. He'll tie that record if he gets 1. And with 4 points, he can tie the career points scored.
5-yard penalty.
Personal foul against Kearney State.
Tiger first and 10 from the
That moves the ball up to the 48-yard line of Fort Hays. 1st and 10. And number 11 with the pitch. Wrapped up by 55, Darren Gunn
on the carry.
on the Kearney State side of the field.
The hit by Darren Gunn. Don't forget to pick up today's edition of the 1989 Fort Hays State football program with rosters and game information Today's special feature is a story about the Tigers cross-country volleyball squads who are competing in the District 10 Championships today in Baltimore.
And Milt McGriggs calling the count. Fort Hays State. And he rolls to his left side. Looks like it's an option to number 11. He got the corner turned and run out of bounds by number 6, DJ Vokalek. So Fort Hays State trying to get around the corner on Kearney State, and they've been successful on a couple turns. Kirk Metzger comes out of the ball game.
Third down, Fort Hays State.
Excuse me, that's
Official
Garland Bryant coming out of the ball game. And looks like they want a measurement.
The Tigers will play at Lewis Field again next Saturday. It's the season finale.
4:55 to go in the first quarter.
Support the Tigers again next week for the final game of the season. Fort Hays State at Fort Hays State next week. Kickoff.
And the score at Lewis Field, 0-0. Let's take a 30-second timeout. This is Herb Brown with Loper Football on KSTV.
Third down, Fort Hays State.
Welcome back to Lewis Field, and there is Milt McGriggs running the ball on a 3rd and 1 play, and he has the first down. Goes forward for about a gain of 8. So Fort Hays State Tigers moving the ball in the Lopers. Ball marked on the 35-yard line of Kearney State. 4:48 left in the first quarter. McGriggs talking things over with Lonnie Hayes, one of his backs. McGriggs calling the count. 2 men split wide. And a mix-up. McGriggs runs into number 11, Keith Dean. And McGriggs covers the ball back at the Loper 42-yard line. So a loss of about 7 for Fort Hays State.
A loss of 7 on the play. Tiger football, second down, 17.
Two men split to the bottom part of the screen for Fort Hays State. One of them, Tyrone Tracy. The other one, Jason Leiker. McGriggs calling the count. And he goes back. Looks like he's an option right side. He tucks up under. And tackled by 2 Kearney State defenders, Garland Bryant, number 89, 1, and number 75, Marvin Watts.
And Garland Bryant, number 89 on the tackle. Third down and 10 for a Tiger first down.
Ortmeyer comes out of the ball game. It's now 3rd and 10 for Fort Hays State on the Kearney State 35-yard line. They break huddle. 2 men split to the top part of the screen. McGriggs calling the count. And he goes back to pass. He's pursued by number 41, Matt Arts, and gets a pass away, but incomplete. 4th and 10 for Fort Hays State. Looks like they'll have to punt it away. Number 88 back to punt for Fort Hays State. John Reuter, a tight end. And the ref's calling timeout for some reason or another. Timeout Kearney State.
Timeout by the Kearney State Antelope.
So With 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Lopers 0, the Tigers 0. This is Loper football on KSTV.
Some people think it's kind to let their pets roam free, but a roaming pet faces many dangers, from cars that can't stop in time, other animals ready to fight, poisons and small bones in the trash, and people who are violent when an animal is a nuisance. So be kind to your animals by keeping them safe, indoors, fenced in, or on a leash. Keep your pets within petting distance. It's the best way to show your love. A message from the American...
Welcome back to Louisville. Number 88, John Reuter, ready to punt to number 20, Doug Banks, and be prepared. Banks could break one. Reuter with the ball, he punts it away, and he's angling for the corner. And it bounces into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. That was close. Reuter almost got the corner there, but yeah, the ball bounced into the end zone, so that'll come out to the 20 for Kearney State. Looked like Fort Hays State had a good drive going that time, but things just fell apart. McGriggs ran into Dean on one play and caused a fumble. He covered the ball, and that pretty well shut down Fort Hays State. Kearney State breaks huddle. Russ Harvey calling the count with Banks split to the bottom part of the screen. Fort Hays State in a 5-man line. And he hands off to number 30, Greg Smith. Smith's through the line. Oh, excuse me, it's Omar Rogers, 31. And Rogers up to the 30-yard line. That looks like a first down for Kearney State, and it is.
Kearney State, ball marked at the 30-yard line. Kearney.
Travis Valine checking into the ball game for the Kearney State Antelopes. Antelopes break huddle. Fort Hays State in a 4-man line. 2 men split to either side of the screen. And Harvey calling the count. Harvey optioning right side, and pitches it to Omar Rogers, and Rogers upfield for a couple of yards, about 4 yards.
On the tackle, Mike Allen and Ken Dean for the Tigers.
Mike Allen and Ken Dean in on the tackle for Fort Hays State.
Gain of 4 on the carry, second down and 6.
2nd and 6 for Kearney State Antelopes on their own 34-yard line. Kearney State splitting a man to the top part of the screen and the bottom part of the screen. Top side is Doug Banks, bottom Travis Valine. Kearney in a pro set now. Harvey calls the count, goes back, and it's a draw play up the middle to Aerosmith, who busts forward for a first down. That's a pickup of about 7-8 yards for Aerosmith. Good, tough running on that play. So Kearney State fooled them. Looked like they might pass on that play, but instead they handed up to Aerosmith.
First down. Ball marked at the 42-yard line.
Ball marked at the 42-yard line of Kearney State. First down and 10. Antelopes over the ball. 2 men split to the bottom part of the screen. Harvey calls the count. Looks like it's going to be a passing situation. Harvey lofts the ball up in the air. And Valine, an incredible catch. Number 58 covering him. Mitch Behrens ran past Valine. Valine had to stop, come back to the ball, and made a fine catch. Ball marked at the 20-yard line of Fort Hays State. So Lopers getting things unleashed here in the final minute and a half of the first quarter. Kearney State breaks huddle. Doug Banks split to the right side of the screen. Kearney in the I set. And Darren Grauerholtz warming up on the sidelines for the PAT. Harvey, hands under center. Goes back, and it's a passing situation. He lofts it up for number 80, Donnie Lee with the good grab. Perfectly placed ball by Harvey, and Donnie Lee has a 20-yard touchdown.
Pass is complete to Donnie Lee.
Kearney State scores with 46 seconds left in the first quarter. Score 6-0, and Darren Grauerholtz in to try the PAT. Holding the ball for Grauerholtz is Jeff McDonald, a backup quarterback. And the ball's, oh, it's bobbled. McDonald scrambling, tosses the ball up, and Kearney State is gonna have to settle for just 6 points on that. The ball will snap back to McDonald, and he couldn't quite handle it to get it set up for the PAT. So the only thing he could do is scramble and try to score a 2-point conversion. That, however, didn't work for the Lopers, so they'll have to settle for just 6 points. And there you see some of the Loper fans on the far side of the field. And of course the Loper pep band over there. Darren Grauerholtz ready to kick off to Tyrone Tracy. This is someone to watch out for. He has 2 Fort Hays State records, could set another 3 yet this afternoon. All he needs, if he scores 1 touchdown today, he'll tie 2 more Fort Hays State records. Grauerholtz kicks it off, and Tracy takes it at the 5-yard line up to the 20, and he switches to the left side of the field, 25, 27-yard line. So Tracy, a 22-yard return that time.
Herman Fuller on the stop with the Antelopes.
Herman Fuller on the stop for the Kearney State Antelopes, number 1. So Kearney State leads the ball game 6-0, 39 seconds left in the first quarter. And Fort Hays State Tigers come over it. 86, Jason Liker split to the top part of the screen along with Tyrone Tracy. McGriggs hands under center. Calls the count, and he pitches or hands it off to number 11, Keith Dean, who's wrapped up over on the left side of the field. Dean up field for about 2 yards on that. Let's call it 2nd and 8.
Darren Gunn on the stop, along with number 70, Mike White. At the end of 1 quarter of play, Colorado 14, Nebraska 7.
And that's the end of the first quarter here at Lewis Field. Kearney State leads the ball game 6-0. Fort Hays State has a 2nd and 8. As we switch sides of the field, they'll have the ball in their own 29-yard line. This is Loper football on KSTV.
See this? It's the latest in party wear. I volunteered to be the driver this time and not drink. Office parties have changed a lot. And if you're a host, you better learn the new etiquette. Provide drinks other than alcohol. And many hosts are providing transportation for the guests who drink, or designated drivers, like me. It's the way it's done now. You wouldn't run your business using old-fashioned methods. Why your party?
Don't drink and drive. You have too much to lose.
Kurt Brown back at Lewis Field. Kearney State leading the ball game 6-0. McGriggs hands under center. They're in the pro set. A man split to the top part of the screen. McGriggs hands it off to number 11, Keith Dean. He's forward for about 2 more yards. Excuse me, forward for more than that. Forward for about 5 yards. Dean slow getting up. So it looks like 3rd and 2 for Fort Hays State. Fort Hays State breaks huddle. Number 30 split to the bottom part of the screen. That's Kenny Crandell. McGriggs hands under center. They're in the I set. McGriggs back to pass, and no, it's a draw play. 87, Todd Gransky in there. And Gransky wrapped him up right away. He had some help by two other lopers on that play. So, Fort Hays State, that was a loss of 3 for Fort Hays State. Now it's 4th and 5, ball in their own 32-yard line, and you can bet that they'll punt it away. Number 88, John Reuter, ready to punt to DJ Vokalek and Doug Banks. Kearney State, a 7-man line, and Reuter's punt is away. Banks gets the ball. It's forward for about 6 yards.
Doug Banks on the return.
So the ball on the 39-yard line of Kearney State.
Kelly Sandell. Along with Doug Holthouse on the stop for the Tigers.
Kearney State scored on their last possession. Let's see if they can keep things rolling. 3 and 4 on the year, excuse me. And that's Meyer in motion. Harvey back with the ball. It's a pass to Travis Valine. Ball.
Harvey to Travis Valine. The pass is complete.
Pass is complete. The ball is marked at the
On the stop, number
46-yard line of Fort Hays State.
Mike Allen.
So that will give Kearney State a first down. Russ Harvey, 71 of 153 passes this year for 1,004 yards. He's passed for 8 touchdowns. That's a 46.5 completion ratio, so pretty good stats for Harvey. Kearney State in the I set. Harvey calls the count. And Fort Hays State looks like they're blitzing a couple people. And Smith's up the middle for about 2 yards.
On the carry. Ken Dees and Kelly Sandell on the defensive stop for the Tigers.
Kearney State looking at a 2nd and 7 situation. In comes Herman Fuller, Travis Valine, and Scott Meyer. Out of the ball game, Mike Long and Donnie Lee, as well as Greg Smith. So Kearney State with the 1-back set. They have 2 split, Travis Valine to the bottom part of the screen and another wide receiver up to the top. And Harvey looked like he was gonna hand it off, but he passes and he overthrows Travis Valine. Looked like he was gonna do a reverse that time to Herman Fuller. Looks like he gave him the ball, then he just tucked it on his hip and passed away to Valine, but it was a little high for Valine to handle that one. Kearney State looking at 3rd and 7, the ball in there on Fort Hays State 43-yard line. Kearney State in the I set. Travis Valine split to the bottom part of the screen, and Doug Banks split to the top. Harvey calls the count, and he goes back to pass. Under some pressure, it's a pass off to Aerosmith, number 45.
Aerosmith from Russ Harvey. Number 47.
They gain a couple yards on that play. Looks like we'll have a 4th and 2 situation for Kearney State.
Ball marked down short.
Looks like Kearney State is going to go for it on 4th and 2 or 3. Now they're calling it 4th and 2 at the Fort Hays State 38-yard line. So Kearney State going for it on a 4th play. Harvey calls the count. It's a long count. And it's a quick pass to Travis Valine. That was way too high. Looked like Kearney State had a long cadence that time, trying to draw Fort Hays State offside, but nothing doing. The Tigers sit still, and Kearney State turns it over to Fort Hays State on their own 38-yard line. So Kearney State comes away with no points that time. They're still ahead 6-0.
Tiger football, 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line.
Tigers come over the ball. We have Tyrone Tracy split to the top part of the screen. And Jason Liker to the bottom. McGriggs passes it out there. And Baker breaks it up. Number 2, Scott Baker. A good defensive play that time.
For John Ruder.
And getting congratulations from his teammates.
Broken up by Scott Baker.
Otherwise, Tracy might have had that ball.
2nd down, Fort Hays State.
Into the ball game for Fort Hays State comes number 80, Tony Viglia. Once again, Liker split to the bottom of the screen and Tracy split to the top. Kearney State a 5-man front. 4-man front now. And running the option to the right side is McGriggs.
On the quarterback keeper.
Tucks it up for a couple yards. Looks like he got about 5 yards on that play. Let's call it 3rd and 5.
Fort Hays State.
So the Tigers on their own 43-yard line, trying to get their offense unraveled. Looks like they get going for a while and something shuts them down. Whether it's Kearney State or they drop the ball or they miss a pass, they just can't seem to get things going consistently this afternoon. McGriggs calling the count. He's back to pass, getting pressure from Gransky and complete to Deans. And tackle made by Scott Woodward, number 17. McGriggs under some pressure that time by both Gransky and Matt Arts, but got the ball away to Dean, and Dean turns it upfield for a 1st down. Ball marked at the 31-yard line of Kearney State.
26-yard pickup for the Tigers.
So Fort Hays State comes under fire and they come through. Fort Hays State in an I set. 2 men split to either side of the field. McGriggs calling the count. And he's back to pass, getting some pressure from Matt Arts that time. And looks like we have pass interference on TJ Vokalek. That's what I'll speculate at this time. Flags came immediately from the referees. They were trying to complete that ball to John Reuter, their tight end / punter. But the refs thought that DJ Vokalek got there a little early that time. So it looks like it'll be a Fort Hays State 1st down. So the referee is moving the ball up to the 19-yard line. They move the ball up to where the infraction occurred, and Fort Hays State has a 1st down on the Kearney State 16-yard line. Kearney State leads the ball game 6-0. Their PAT didn't come through. McGriggs calling the count. A man in motion, number 11, that's Dean. And a quarterback keeper. He tucks up under tackle. He's tackled by Matt Arts, Mike White, and Tim Arts.
And Mike White on the top with the yellow.
Coming out, both Tim Arts and Matt Arts, they're brothers. They both come out of the ball game for Kearney State. And once again, we're seeing the same formation from Fort Hays State. A man split to the bottom, man split to the top, and the pro set. McGriggs calls the count. And Baker in on the blitz this time. And that's incomplete. He's trying to complete that ball to Dean.
Number 11, King Dean.
Baker in on the blitz that time. Just couldn't quite get to the quarterback, McGriggs.
With 11:33 left in the 2nd quarter, Nebraska 14, Colorado 14.
9:50 to go in the 1st half here at Lewis Field. Kearney State leading the ball game 6-0. But Fort Hays State knocking on the door. They're on the Kearney State 14-yard line. Fort Hays State this time in the I set. Two-man split to the top part of the screen. And Dean in motion once again. McGrigg back to pass, and Gransky can't get to him. Ball's up in the air, and he overthrew his receiver.
Pass intended for Ken Crandall.
That was number 30, Ken Crandall, a slot back.
Pass incomplete. The coverage by Scott Woodward.
So it's going to be 4th and 8. The ball on Kearney State 14. Looks like we're going to see a field goal, from Fort Hays State. Roy Miller in to try his luck at getting 3 points and getting the Fort Hays State Tigers on the board. Ball's back, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Kearney State leads 6-3 at Lewis Field. And there goes the cannon with 9:40 left to go in the first half. This is Loper football on KSTV.
Hey, stay out of here. You know I'm trying to make everything perfect for John's homecoming.
Sir, you're under arrest for driving while under the influence of alcohol.
I wonder what's keeping him.
As soon as we finish booking you, you'll be allowed to make a phone call.
There he is now.
Hello, Mom.
Don't drink and drive. You have too much to lose.
And welcome back to Lewis Field. Herb Brown on KSTV. This is Loper football. And number 21, Roy Miller, ready to kick off for Fort Hays State. Kearney State leads the ball game 6-3 as the ball blows off the tee once again. We had that happen early on the opening kickoff. That happened to Darren Grauerholtz. So it's a little windy here this afternoon at Lewis Field. Not too bad though. Not so that Kearney State can't do the passing that they usually do. Miller ready to kick off. Back deep for Kearney State. Valine and Banks. And it's a short kick. Banks takes it about the 8-yard line. Up the left side of the field, up to the 30-yard line. That is a 22-yard return for Doug Banks. Kearney State will take over possession on their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
That is 24-yard return.
And 3-man split. They have Aerosmith behind. Aerosmith gets a ball, goes forward, but he's met by a lot of black shirts. And I mean that literally the black and gold of Fort Hays State. Aerosmith forward for about 3 yards. We'll have 2nd and 7 on Kearney State's own 33-yard line. Omar Rogers checks into the ball game for Kearney State. Banks split to the top part of the screen, and Valine split to the bottom. Kearney in the I set. Fort Hays State in a 4-man front. Again, a long count by Kearney State. Harvey rolls out to the right side. He passes it. They say it's incomplete by Travis Valine.
Pass intended for number 16, Travis Valine, incomplete.
So we'll have 3rd and 7 for Kearney State. Looks like another passing situation. 83, Mike Long, a tight end, checks in for Kearney State. He brings the play in from the sideline from Coach Boroff. Kearney State next week is on the road taking on Northwestern Missouri State. Harvey rolls out to the right side. It's a reverse to Travis Valine. He's got open room. He could be going. No, he's tackled at the 50-yard line by number 18, Roy Grundell. Beautiful call by Coach Boroff. Kearney State first down. So Kearney State on a 3rd and 7, they pick up the first down. And Valine, if he could have had another step on that gentleman, could have easily had 6 points. Kearney State in an unusual formation. They send Meyer in motion, hand it forward to Aerosmith, who gets about 3 yards.
Ahead on the carry, Brad Aerosmith, number 45 for Kearney. Delbert Proud on the stop defensively for the Tigers.
As I said, next week, Kearney State will be on the road once again. They'll take on Northwest Missouri State, and the week after that, they are at New Mexico Highlands of Las Vegas. So Kearney State 3 road games in a row. Harvey hands under center, hands it off to Omar Rogers, is up the middle for nothing, practically. Gets forward for about 2 yards. So the middle running is tough for Kearney State. They just can't seem to get anything going up the middle. Thing that's working best so far for Kearney State has been the passing play, the option, and things around the outside. Donnie Lee comes out of the ball game, and Mike Long in for Kearney State. Banks split to the top part of the screen along with Valine. Kearney State in an I set. 3-man defensive front for Fort Hays State. Valine in motion to the bottom part of the screen. And it's a quarterback. He calls his own number. It's a quarterback draw there. Harvey looks like he's going to be short by about a half yard, maybe. This is close enough. They might have to bring the chains in on this. And they do. Looks like they're going to measure this.
Official timeout for a measurement.
7:10 left in the first half of action here at Lewis Field. And Kearney State has a first down.
Kearney State first down.
So Harvey on his draw play gets the first down for Kearney State. It'll be 1st and 10, the ball on the 41-yard line of Fort Hays State. As I said, 7:10 left in the first half here at Lewis Field. I keep wanting to say Foster Field, but we're not at home. This is Lewis Field. Kearney State ahead 6-3. Lopers break huddle. Valine and Banks split to the bottom part of the screen. Kearney again in an I set. That's their favorite formation. Harvey calls the count, and it's fumbled by Valine. Harvey pitched it back to Valine, who was coming around for a reverse play, and Travis just couldn't get his hands on the ball. Looks like he covers the ball.
Number 16, Travis Valine.
That could have been disastrous for Kearney State, though. They lose yardage back to their own 49-yard line. So Kearney State loses about 8-9 yards on that play alone. 2nd and 20 at their own 49-yard line. Banks split to the top, Valine split to the bottom, Kearney in a pro set. Looks like Fort Hays State might be blitzing this time. Harvey calls the count, and they send a man, except that Harvey had already handed off to Aerosmith, who's forward for about 3 yards.
Chris Campesini and Delbert Proud.
Blitzing that time for Fort Hays State was Rick Ashbrenner, and if Harvey would have had the ball, he would have been mashed potatoes.
Third quarter score from Lawrence, Oklahoma State 31, KU 3.
Kearney State breaks huddle, and this is the formation we've seen quite a bit this afternoon. Valine split to the bottom and Banks split to the top. Harvey calls the count. We have a 3rd and 17 situation from Fort Hays State 48-yard line. And here comes Ashbrenner again. And Harvey gets the ball away, luckily. Ashbrenner and Andy Atkins were putting a lot of pressure on Russ Harvey that time. He was lucky just to get away from that.
Andy Atkins and number 47, Rick Ashbrenner. 4th down, Kearney State.
So Kearney State in a definite punting situation, 4th and 17 from Fort Hays State 48-yard line. And to punt is Darren Grauerholtz.
For the Tigers.
Back is Tyrone Tracy for Fort Hays State, and he is a speedster, someone to look out for this whole ball game. Keep an eye on him, number 23. Looks like Fort Hays State is going to try to block this. And Grauerholtz gets the ball away to Tracy, who calls for a fair catch. Tracy, a fair catch at his own 21-yard line.
The first and 10 at Fort Hays State. Past the 20-yard line. Tiger football.
Coach Boroff on the sidelines talking to his offense, trying to get things unraveled. He'd like a little more of a cushion going into halftime. Kearney State currently leads 6-3. And there you see the offense huddled up on the sidelines. McGrig's over the football. Fort Hays State in a pro set. 2 men split to either side of the screen. He hands off. It's a fumble. Looks like Kearney State might have recovered. And the refs trying to unpile all the bodies. Kearney State football. I'm not sure who recovered that football for sure, but it doesn't really matter. It's a team effort. Kearney State recovers. I guess it was recovered by number 55, Darren Gunn for Kearney State. And they recover on Fort Hays State 25-yard line, so that's a big play for Kearney State. 5 minutes left to go in the first half, and Lopers will like to punch maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns in before halftime. Bank split to the top part of the screen. Kearney State in an I set. Looks like Fort Hays State might be blitzing this time, but they bring the man back. Harvey calling the count, and here comes number 10 again. And Harvey going back, getting pressure from 47. He tucks it up. He's got room up to the 2-yard line. And that was a good decision by Russ Harvey. He saw his receivers recovered. He just tucked up under. So Kearney State on the Fort Hays State 2-yard line. Ahead 6-3.
23-yard gain for Harvey.
That was a 23-yard gain for Russ Harvey. Harvey on the season is the second leading rusher for the Lopers. Harvey calls the count. Scott Meyer in motion. He gives it to Aerosmith. Aerosmith up the middle. Looks like he's going to be stopped. No, he gets across. Kearney State touchdown. From this angle, I couldn't see that he got across the goal line, but he broke the plane. Kearney State ahead 12-3 is what the scoreboard should say. It says 13-3, but Kearney State has to get the extra point before it goes to 13-3. Kearney State talking it over. And looks like they're going to go for 2. Banks and Valine split to the bottom part of the screen. One back is Aerosmith. Harvey calls the count. And Harvey rolls out to the right side. It's a pass to Scott Meyer. 2-point conversion for Kearney State. That will make it 14-3. And that will help Kearney out. That 1-point PAT on their first touchdown they didn't get. So this will take care of that. Kearney State leads 14-3 with 4:29 left to go in the first half. This is Loper football on KSTV.
These models take care of their skin. It's their business, and it's my business too. I'm Eileen Ford. My model agency represents the most beautiful women in the world. Dermatologists have told them that too much sun can cause premature wrinkles and even skin cancer, so they always wear a sunscreen and cover up. Because today's style is a healthy glow, not sun-baked skin. Sun protection is the secret to beautiful and healthy skin.
And welcome back to Louisville. This is Herb Brown with KSTV Loper football. Kearney State just scored a touchdown by Brad Aerosmith in the 2-point conversion from Harvey to Scott Meyer. Darren Grauerholtz tees up the football. He's ready to kick off. And it's a long, low kick. Jason Liker recovers it. And he's up the middle for quite a few yards. He took that ball right around the 20-yard line and brought it out to the Fort Hays State 47. So that was about a 25-yard return for Fort Hays State. So Kearney State kick coverage just not stopping Fort Hays State like they want to.
27-yard return for Lanker. Lanker football, 1st and 10.
McGriggs calls the count. 2 men split to either side of the field. And he's rolling out for an option on the left side. He keeps it, tackled by Danny Gall that time, number 11. With some help from Todd Gransky and another Loper player.
Dan Gall with the tackle.
Dan Gall coming up from a safety position that time. And Gall, by the way, is the Lopers' leading tackler. So the Tigers break huddle. And McGriggs calls the count. Kearney State a 5-man front that time. Hands it off to 41. That's Lonnie Hayes.
Lonnie Hayes on the kick.
And little or no yardage that time. As I said, Danny Gall leads the Kearney State tacklers. He has 47 on the year. That was before this ball game. 29 unassisted and 18 assisted. He has 1 interception, and he's broken up 2 passes on the year. 3:13 left to go in the first half. Fort Hays State breaks huddle with Tracy and Kenny Crandall split to the top part of the screen. Baker looks like he might be in blitzing this time, and he is. And there's 3 Lopers, number 40, number 2, and number 97. Scott Baker in on the blitz that time. He had help from Troy Schubert, who actually got McGriggs, and 97 in that time. We don't have a 97 on the roster for Kearney State, so not quite sure who that gentleman is. But it looks like a punting situation for Fort Hays State just the same. Kearney State will have 1 more chance to score before halftime. 88 is John Reuter back to punt for Fort Hays State. And he has the ball. The punt's up. And Schubert almost got the block that time.
Reception by Doug Banks.
Banks takes the ball at the Kearney State 19-yard line. Kearney State will have 1 more chance, maybe 1 more chance to score before halftime. They lead the ball game 14-3.
1st and 10, Kearney State, the ball locked at their own 19-yard line.
Harvey calls the count with the eye set. That's Kearney State bobbles the ball. Harvey covers it. That was Valine in motion that time.
Loose football recovered by
Excuse me, that was Ford covering the ball that time for Kearney State.
Ball marked at the 17-yard line.
Looks like that time they were going to try a reverse play to Valine, but Harvey just lost the handle. So Valine and Meyer split to the bottom part of the screen. Kearney in an eye set. Fort Hays State a 4-man line. And they hand off up the middle to Omar Rogers, who breaks free, unbelievable. And the ref is going to say that he was down. His knee touched the ground before the ball came loose, luckily for Kearney State. But Omar Rogers, as he's struggling for those yards, let the football come loose. However, the ref said his knee was down first, so Kearney State retains possession of the ball. They have a 3rd and 8 situation, 3rd and 9 situation from their own 21. 54 seconds and counting left in the first half. Man in motion is Valine. And Harvey back to pass, rolling out to his left side. And underthrew number 34.
Incomplete.
That pass was intended for Nolan Byer. who's listed in the program as a defensive back.
Timeout, Fort Hays State.
So Fort Hays State calls a timeout. They want one last chance to maybe get a field goal or maybe try a long bomb. Fort Hays State called a timeout, 41 seconds left. Lopers leading the ball game 14-3. Delbert Trowell over on the sidelines talking to his head coach, trying to figure out what they should do. Looks like they're going to try to block the ball this time, so Kearney State had better get a lot of protection. Otherwise, they could be in for some trouble. They would like to keep their 11-point cushion going into halftime.
Don't forget at half a special halftime performance by the Fort Hays State Tiger Marching Band.
So Fort Hays State looks like they're going to try to block the punt of Darren Grauerholtz. And it's a long count. Ball's back to Grauerholtz, and he gets it away. Back to recover it is Tyrone Tracy. He takes it at the 49-yard line, and he's up the middle. He recovered at his own 49-yard line. Brought the ball up to the Kearney State 36. So a 15-yard return for Tyrone Tracy.
16-yard return for Tracy. First and 10, Fort Hays State on the 36-yard line.
So Fort Hays State has 31 seconds to work with in the first half, and they'd like to get at least some more points on the ball game. They're going to be airing the ball up, so Kearney State had better be ready defensively. McGriggs calls a count. They're in the pro set. Two-man split to the bottom part of the screen. McGriggs goes straight back to the pass, and it's a long pass over on the left-hand side, and Tracy just completely stopped. The man closest to the ball that time was Scott Woodward, the defensive back for Kearney State. So that stops the clock with 25 seconds, an incomplete pass. Kearney State ahead 14-3, as I said. Out comes Jason Leiker from the ball game for Fort Hays State, and number 30, Kenny Crandell. Crandell split to the bottom part of the screen, and Tyrone Tracy to the top part of the screen. Fort Hays State in the eye set. And McGriggs rolls out to his left side. It looks like he's was gonna try to tuck under, but Garland Bryant, the man of the day, he tackles McGriggs, holds on. He got some help from Mike White and Kirk Metzger.
Number 89 with the tackle, Garland Bryant, and number 70, Mike
Looks
White.
like Kenny Crandell limping a little bit that time.
Timeout, Fort Hays State University.
And Crandell comes off the field, and to replace him, Jason Leiker. 14 seconds left in the first half, and looks like Fort Hays State called another timeout. This is Loper Football on KSTV.
Hi, I'm Morgan Fairchild. Education is still our best defense against the spread of AIDS and the harm that can happen when people are not informed. That's why the Will Rogers Institute is offering a free booklet that can give you the facts. You'll learn how AIDS can be caught. You'll learn the difference between having the AIDS virus and having the disease. And you'll learn how to protect yourself and your family. For your free copy, write the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.
Welcome back to Lewis Field. Herb Brown on KSTV with Loper Football. Lopers are ahead 14-3 with 14 seconds left in the first half. Fort Hays State has the ball on the Kearney State 33-yard line. Third down and 7 to go. Tyrone Tracy's 4 wide receivers for Fort Hays State. With one back, that's Dean. McGriggs clear back to pass. Pursued. Gransky got a hand on the jersey and pulled McGriggs down. He'd slipped through, but Granksby reached out, got a hand on the jersey, and yanked him down to the turf. 6 seconds left, and Fort Hays State calls another timeout.
Timeout for Hays State.
Volkolek and Mike Arnold come out for Kearney State. And didn't really know what was going on that time. Looks like they're going to try a long field goal. The ball's marked at the 31-yard line. Therefore, that will make it a 48-yard field goal attempt by number 21, Roy Miller. Sun shining now at Lewis Field. 6 seconds to go in the first half. Kearney State over on the sidelines talking to Coach Renner to see what they should do.
Someone doesn't know, doesn't watch what they're doing too well, are they? Boy, it's been a long first quarter.
So Fort Hays State, a 4th down, 5 yards to go. The ball's on the 31-yard line of Kearney State, making it a 48-yard field goal attempt. Kearney State ready defensively, and it's a fake field goal. They pitch it forward to 35. Kenny Crandell pitched it forward to number 35, Andy Funk. And that's the end of the first half. So Kearney State retains its lead, 14-3.
Yeah, I missed that.
Kearney State going into the locker room ahead, 14-3 now. This is Loper football on KSTV.
Serious eye injuries can happen in the home, the yard, the workplace, or the sports field. So play it safe. Wear heavy-duty safety glasses or goggles like these when using tools that could send particles flying. Wear impact-resistant sports goggles when playing racket sports, basketball, or any game in which your eyes can be hit by a flying object or by another player. This simple precaution can save your sight. A message for eye safety from the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.
Hello, and welcome to our special guest, McGruff the Crime Dog.
Thanks, Dick.
Now, do I understand that neighborhood watch programs have reduced crime in some areas as much as 50%?
That's right, but there's more to be done. Start a volunteer escort service for older folks.
Aha, good news for the old folks at home, eh? What about the young folks?
Start McGruff houses.
Which are?
Houses kids can duck into in case of trouble.
For more information, write to this address and help
take a bite out of crime.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Lewis Field here in Hays, Kansas, Fort Hays State University's field. And the Loafers running onto the field. We have just about a minute and a half left of halftime before Kearney State and Fort Hays State resume action. Kearney State ahead, 14-3. They scored on a pass from Russ Harvey to Donnie Lee. That was in the first quarter. That gave them their first touchdown. They missed the point after attempt. Then Fort Hays State kicked a field goal, and then Kearney State came back and they scored on a 2-yard Brad Aerosmith touchdown run. And then they completed the 2-point conversion. That makes the score 14-3. Taking a look at Kearney State and Fort Hays State's record and common teams that they play. Fort Hays State overall on the year is 2-6, 1-0 in the CSIC. Kearney State overall is 3-4 on the year and 1-1 in CSIC action. Last week, of course, the Lopers were idle. The week before that, they defeated Wayne State of Nebraska 20-7 at home. Last week, Fort Hays State defeated Wayne State 38-7. So that's one common team that they play. And the week before they played Wayne State, Fort Hays State played New Mexico Highlands. They lost that game 36-35. Looked like they had the game in control, but they let it slip away. They lost to New Mexico Highlands 36-35. That was 2 weeks ago. Kearney State will play New Mexico Highlands in 2 weeks. So looks like Kearney State and Fort Hays State almost evenly matched, with Kearney State so far they have the edge 14-3. And the ball falls off the tee once again for Darren Grauerholtz. Scoreboard shows the score 14-13. Looks like somebody's messing with their minds here. And the ball falls off the tee once again for Grauerholtz. The real score in this game, 14-3 Kearney State. Grauerholtz ready to kick off, and the scoreboard clock is now correct. And Grauerholtz kicks off for Kearney State. There goes the cannon once again. Kick, and it went out of bounds about the 18-yard line. That will be a 5-yard penalty against Kearney State, and they'll have to kick it over. Taking a look at the series between Kearney State and Fort Hays State. Last year, Kearney State defeated Fort Hays State 26-13. The year before, Kearney State demolished Fort Hays State 44-7, and in '86 they beat them 39-21. So Kearney State has defeated Fort Hays State the last 3 years, and they lead the series overall as the ball once again falls off the tee for Darren Grauerholtz. Still awaiting the second half kickoff from Lewis Field. Grauerholtz ready to try again. He kicks off from the 30-yard line. A high spiraling kick drives Tracy back to the 0-yard line. Tracy up to the 20, across the 20 to the 26-yard line. And looks like we have some pushing going on out there between 78 and 28. 28 of the Lopers and 78 of Fort Hays State. 26-yard return for Tyrone Tracy.
Matt Shepard on the tackle for Kearney State. First and 10, Fort Hays. Ball marked at the 27-yard line.
Fort Hays State comes over at their first possession of the second half. McGriggs, hands under center. Two-man split to either side of the field. McGriggs rolls out to his left side. Blocking ahead is Dean, and Griggs tackled by Dan Gall. And looked like 55, Darren Gunn.
And number 55, Darren Gunn on the stop.
So McGriggs, a pickup of about 5 yards. Let's call it 2nd and 5. The ball on the 31-yard line of Fort Hays State.
Second down, Fort Hays State.
Split out to the top part of the screen is Jason Leiker for Fort Hays State. Up to the top part of the screen, Tracy. Lonnie Hayes runs the ball forward for what appears to be just short of a first down for Fort Hays State. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 1.
Third down, Fort Hays State. Ball marked on the 35.
Hayes, a 4-yard pickup for Fort Hays. Third and 1, the ball on the 35-yard line of Fort Hays State. Fort Hays in an I set. McGrigg hands under center. And he rolls straight back. He hands off to Dean. Dean ahead across the to the 39-yard line for a first down for Fort Hays State.
White, number 70, Tiger, first down.
Garland Bryan in the ball game for Kearney State. He comes in to replace number 92, Jeff Ortmeyer. Kenny Crandall split to the bottom part of the screen, and Tracy split to the top. And McGrigg sneaks up under, got by Bryant, and he was tackled by Mike White, along with help.
On the stop, number 70, Mike White, and number 11, Dan Gall.
And Dan Gall in on the stop that time also. McGrigg got inside of the defensive end and tucked it upfield for about a 7-yard pickup that time. Second, and they're calling it 2 yards to go on the ball on their own 46. Fort Hays State. McGrigg's back to pass, getting some pressure that time from Kirk Metzger and Todd Gransky. Incomplete pass. So it'll be 3rd and 2 for Fort Hays State. Ball again on their own 46. And for Fort Hays State, number 80, that's Troy Veglia. Jason Liker split to the bottom part of the screen, and Tyrone Tracy split to the top. Fort Hays State in an I set. Kearney State showing blitz, and they do. Couple of guys through the line, they couldn't get the Dean. Dean, number 11, tackled by 11 for Kearney State. That's Dan Gall. Dean, however, got the first down.
Penalty flag is down.
Penalty flag on the far side of the field against Kearney State.
The call, face masking against Kearney State.
Face mask called against Kearney State. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Still 1st and 10 for Fort Hays State from the Kearney State 44-yard line.
1st and 10, Fort Hays State. Ball marked on the 44-yard line.
And we resume action here in the second half. McGriggs calls the count. He's back to pass. He passes off to his left side as he was tackled practically by Dan Robbins. Robbins in there putting pressure on McGriggs.
Robbins with the pressure for Kearney State.
12 minutes left in the 3rd quarter here at Lewis Field. Kearney State leading, but Fort Hays State trying to get something together. It's 2nd and 10, ball marked on the 44-yard line of Kearney State. Once again, this is a similar formation for Fort Hays State, split man with a pro set. And once again, there's a ball on the turf. Dean has the ball, and they're still trying to tackle him. He's eventually tackled by 48 Dan Robbins. Kearney State just couldn't wrap him up. They had about 3-4 guys around him, and Robbins finally got the tackle.
With the tackle for Kearney State.
So Kearney State comes out of that looking pretty good. A loss of about 10 yards on the play, 3rd and 20 from the Kearney State 48-yard line. Looks like Fort Hays State has been utilizing Dean quite a bit this ball game. The I set. McGrigg rolls back. And it's a pass complete to, and a face mask by Darren Gunn. Gunn got the hand in there for the face mask penalty, so that really hurts Kearney State. It was complete to John Reuter. He turned upfield, and he was being tackled, and then Gunn comes in there and just reached across and got a hold of his face mask. So this either could be,
Kearney State, face mask.
They're calling it a 15-yard penalty. That's what I thought they were going to do. The refs have an option to either make it a 5 or a 15-yard penalty. They thought that Gunn held on there a little too tightly, so they call it a 15-yard penalty against Kearney State. So that's a big play for Fort Hays State. First and 10, the ball marked on the 28-yard line of Kearney State. McGrigg calls the count. They're in a pro set. He hands off to Dean up the middle. He's wrapped up immediately by Kirk Metzger, and then he gets help from the rest of the defensive line.
On the run for the Tigers.
So Dean ahead for about 3 yards on that play. Let's call it 2nd and 7. The ball on the 2nd and 8, let's call it. Ball marked on the 26-yard line of Kearney State. In the ball game for Fort Hays State, Kenny Crandall. Crandall split to the bottom part of the screen. Tyrone Tracy, who is yet to be effective really in the game, except on kick returns. He split to the top part of the screen. Kearney State showing blitz. McGrigg trying to get it away, and Metzger missed a tackle. McGrigg gets the corner turn, and he's down to what could be a first down for Fort Hays State. Dan Gall missed a tackle that time. Kirk Metzger missed a tackle that time. And Jeff Ortmeyer also couldn't quite catch McGrigg.
Official timeout for a measurement.
Looks like they're going to bring the chains on the field for a measurement on this. And they stretch the chains. It's a first down for Fort Hays State. So Fort Hays State moving the ball in the 3rd quarter on the Kearney State Antelopes. That'll be a 1st and 10. The ball marked at the 18-yard line of the Antelopes. So Kearney State's really going to have to come together to shut down the Tigers. Fort Hays State breaks huddle. They're in the ice at this time. 2 men split to the bottom part of the screen. Looks like it could be a formation for option to the right side of the field. And McGrigg rolls out to his right side. Looks like he's going to keep it. And he's hit by Gransky and a swarm of defenders from Kearney State. Gransky was there. Dunn was there. Matt Arts. Troy Schubert. But McGrigg's up to the 10-yard line of the Kearney State Antelopes. That'll make it 2nd and 2.
10-yard line.
Crandall comes out of the game for Fort Hays State. Jason Liker in the ball game, along with Tyrone Tracy. They're both split to the top part of the screen. And it's a handoff up the middle to Dean. Dean forward for about 1.5 yards. Looks like Fort Hays State is going to have a 3rd and 1 situation. 3rd and 1, the ball placed at the Kearney State 9-yard line. So if there was ever a time we wanted the Kearney State defenders to come together and put on a goal line stand, it would be right here to keep this game under control. Tracy split to the bottom part of the screen. Liker split to the top. McGrigg calls the count. And he hands it up the middle to Dean. Dean forward to the 2-yard line, tackled by Scott Baker.
Tiger first down.
And of course, that'll be a first down for Fort Hays State.
First and goal inside the 5 for the Fort Hays State Tigers.
Excuse me, the ball's marked on the 3-yard line of Kearney State, so it'll be a first down and goal to go. Ball on the 3-yard line. Fort Hays State in the spread set with an I set. McGrigg forward for a touch. And there goes the cannon. McGrigg scores on a 3-yard touchdown run right up the middle. So with 7:25 left to go in the third quarter, Fort Hays States are getting into the ball game. Kearney State leads 14-9. And Fort Hays State going for the two-point conversion here. Then if they make the two-point conversion, they'd be within 3 of the Antelopes. McGrigg hands it under center. He goes back to pass. Passes to the left side to number 88, John Reuter, and there's a flag on the play. So apparently the flag is against Kearney State. The two-point conversion will count. Kearney State now leads at 14-11. And the penalty could possibly be assessed on the kickoff. And as I thought, the penalty is assessed on the kickoff. A 15-yard penalty. Fort Hays State will not kick off from the 35. They're going to kick off from the 50-yard line. So that's a costly penalty against the Antelopes. So Fort Hays State kicking off from the 50-yard line. Looks like we could possibly see an onside kick here. I would not rule that out. Fort Hays State behind by 3. But they do try an onside kick. It's covered by 73. And that'll be a Kearney State ball at their own 36. I don't think the ball got away there. They're fighting over it, but I thought it was covered by 73 from Kearney State. That would be John Chappell. But they say no. Chappell comes out of there, but he doesn't have the ball. Number 58 of Fort Hays State comes out the ball. Mitch Behrens recovers. So it looks like the onside kick worked for Fort Hays State. They have the ball at the Kearney State 36-yard line, 1st and 10. So the Kearney State defenders out on the field once again. McGriggs calling the count. Kearney State in a 4-3. And he hands, no, McGriggs keeps the ball. And he's forward for a 3-yard pickup where it looks like he wouldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 70, Mike White, along with number 99, Kurt Metzger. 2nd down, Fort Hays State.
Second and 6 from the Kearney State 32-yard line. Fort Hays State comes over the ball. McGriggs calls the count. And he's rolling out to his left side. And he's wrapped up immediately by
number 11, Dan Gall.
Number 11, Dan Gall. And number 55, Darren Gunn, wrap him up. So we have a 3rd down situation, 5 yards to go for Fort Hays State. And Lopers really need to shut down Fort Hays right here. McGrigg calls the count, 2 wideouts at the bottom part of the screen. And he's getting pressure from DJ Vokalek, and he completes a pass. Unbelievable. He completes a pass to number 80, Troy Veglia. McGrigg, unbelievable that time. He had DJ Vokalek all over him, and he still got the pass away, and it was complete. And Fort Hays State comes out of it with the first down. First down and 10. Ball marked at the 20-yard line of the Kearney State Antelopes. So Fort Hays State coming out of from the locker room with fire in their eyes. McGriggs back to pass. It's in the air, intended for Tracy. It's a touchdown. And there goes the cannon once again. Fort Hays State finally utilizing Tracy, and there they do their goal line spectacular, whatever you want to call it. They both fall down. Tracy has a 20-yard touchdown reception for him. And by the way, that sets a school record for him. All he needed was 4 points to be the career scoring leader at Fort Hays State. And he got 6 right there. And that also ties his score record for him. He tied the all-time touchdown total with 36. So Fort Hays State going to try the point after attempt. Ball's back, kick is up, and it's good. Fort Hays State now leads the Kearney State Antelopes by the score of 18-14 with 5:19 left to go in the third quarter. This is Loper Football on KSTV.
When I was doing cocaine, I lied to everyone about everything. But worst of all, I lied to myself. I had to be fired from my job before I understood how really sick I was. Shame didn't stop me. Willpower didn't help. I played with death and didn't even care. Anyone who says cocaine's not addictive lies.
Cocaine, the big lie. Call 1-800-662-HELP.
And welcome back to Lewis Field. As they just announced over the PA system, Tyrone Tracy tied one record and broke another. He broke the career points scored, and he tied the all-time touchdowns. And Roy Miller ready to kick it off. It's a low, wobbly quick kick. It goes out to the 21-yard line, and Travis Valine covers it. And it looks like we have tempers flaring just a little bit out on the field there.
By Travis Valine, the ball will be marked on the 20.
So Kearney State will take over at their own 20-yard line, first 21-yard line, first and 10.
Kearney State University concession stands, popcorn and hot dogs are half price, and they'll close at the end of the third quarter. So this is your last chance to get that.
So Kearney State really needs to get something together on offense. Their defense has been out on the field for about 7 straight minutes. Harvey calls the count. He's back, he rolls out to his left side, and he's getting pressure. He stays on his feet, but he's still tackled. Tackled by number 91, Kevin Wright. Kevin Wright gets a quarterback sack. That's a 9-yard loss for Kearney State. Excuse me, that's a 7-yard loss for Kearney State. That'll be 2nd and 17 from their own 14. So Kearney State putting themselves in a hole here that who knows if they can get out of it. Harvey calls the count. Fort Hays State showing blitz. Looks like Fort Hays State might be blitzing, and Harvey took too much time. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against Kearney State. And they're falling apart on offense, it looks like. So instead of 2nd and 17, we'll have
delay of game, Kearney State.
2nd and 22.
2nd down and 22 on the Kearney State 9-yard line.
So now the Kearney State Antelopes are on their own 9-yard line. And really, they're putting themselves in this hole. Harvey was trying to audible that last time. Here he pitches off to Smits, and Smits wrapped up immediately. Still trying to get some yardage, but They drove him backwards, back to his own 5-yard line. He'll get forward progress up to the 11. Donnie Lee now comes in the game for Kearney State. Brings the play in from Coach Boroff. Valine split to the bottom part of the screen. Banks split to the top. Kearney State in a pro set. Harvey calling the count. He drops straight back and he doesn't hand off. He throws it to Valine, who's tackled immediately by 24, Kurt Dinkle.
Pass is complete.
So Valine, close to a first down.
Coverage by Kurt Dinkle.
It will be 4th and about 1 for Kearney State. 4th and 1 for Kearney State. Darren Grauerholtz in to punt. He's going to punt to Tyrone Tracy and Ken Dean. Grauerholtz has the ball. Kick is up in the air. And Dean is going to take it at his own 31.
Ken Dean on the catch.
So Ken Dean forward for 5 yards for Fort Hays State. They'll take over at their own 36-yard line.
Rod Sayers on the stop for Kearney. First and 10 Fort Hays. Ball marked on the Tiger 36-yard line.
And Coach Boroff trying to get some strategy together over on the sidelines, trying to get the Antelopes some offensive scheme that will work for them. And Fort Hays State breaks huddle. McGriggs calls the count. He has 2 wideouts to the top part of the screen. And looks like they didn't know what they were doing on that play. Dean, number 11, Dean was lost. Keith Dean had no idea that the ball had been snapped. So McGriggs didn't know what he was supposed to do, so he lost 2 yards on that play. Swarm of Antelopes were there. 2nd and 12 from Fort Hays State's 34-yard line. So the defense trying to get the ball back for the offense. I think puts more points on the board. They're behind now by 4, 18-14. McGriggs drops straight back to pass. It's up in the air, intended for Tracy, and Tracy makes an incredible catch. Scott Woodward on the defense. Tracy, an incredible catch up to Kearney State's 34-yard line. So Fort Hays State a first down on that play, and Tracy now being a factor in the ball game where he wasn't earlier. Earlier it was number 11, Keith Dean, who's been doing everything for Fort Hays State along with the quarterback, Milt McGriggs. McGriggs calling the count. And he hands off to Dean, who's tackled immediately by the front 3 or 4 for Kearney State. Getting up from the bottom looks like number 99, Kirk Metzger.
Number 99, Kirk Metzger.
So Metzger on the tackle that time.
Briggs over on the other side.
Fort Hays State now on a 2nd and 10 at the Kearney State 34-yard line. Crandell split to the top part of the screen with Tracy split to the bottom. McGriggs straight back for a pass. Looks like it's trying to catch Kearney State off guard once again. Tackle made by Darren Gunn and Mike White.
On the stop, number 55, Darren Gunn.
11, Keith Dean getting up awful slowly, holding onto his right ankle. And the trainers come in. We'll take a short timeout with 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter. Fort Hays State leads 18-14. This is Loper football on KSTV.
When I was doing cocaine, I got so selfish. I wish I didn't have no one, no kids, no parents, no people who loved me. I didn't care about nothing. That's how crazy it was. I just couldn't get enough. And you know what? Cocaine's not hip, it's hype. Anyone who tells you it's okay is a liar.
Call 1-800-662-HELP.
Fort Hays State over the ball. McGriggs calling the count. 2 wideouts to the top part of the screen. McGriggs rolls out to his left side, and he passes it out there for Tracy. 3 defenders back there, and they're going to call a pass interference on number 17, Scott Woodward. Danny Gall almost got a hand on the ball. However, pass interference probably calling against Scott Woodward. Disastrous for Kearney State. They had 3 receivers on Tyrone Tracy that time. And the pass was overthrown anyway. So Fort Hays State comes out of this awfully good. They're leading 18-14, 46 seconds are left in the third quarter. Kearney State digging their own grave on defense.
15-yard penalty makes it 1st and 10, Fort Hays State.
So Fort Hays State will take over on the Kearney State 16-yard line, 1st and 10.
16-yard line of Kearney State.
Liker and Tracy split to the top part of the screen. McGriggs calls the count. And Matt Arts blitzing that time. Pass intended for number 80. DJ Vokalek got a hand on it, but couldn't come up with the catch.
Incomplete on the coverage.
That was intended for Tony Veglia. Fort Hays State, 2nd and 10 at the Kearney State 16-yard line. Crandell comes in for Liker. He'll be split to the top part of the screen, and Tracy split to the bottom with the pro set. This is a formation we've seen quite a bit from Fort Hays State this afternoon. McGrigg wants the option right side. Tucks it under for about 2 yards. Darren Gunn in on the tackle, along with Todd Gransky and Mike White.
3rd down.
So Fort Hays State hopefully being stopped here by the Antelopes. It's a 3rd and 8 situation of the Kearney State 14. McGrigg calls the count, and the refs blow the ball dead. That's the end of the third quarter. With 15 minutes left to go in the ball game, Fort Hays State ahead, 18-14. This is Loper football on KSTV.
Children believe what their parents tell them.
You're pathetic. You can't do anything right.
You disgust me. Just shut up.
You can't be my kid.
You're worthless.
Hey, stupid, don't you know how to listen?
You're never going to amount to anything.
Why don't you go find some other place to live?
Words hit as hard as a fist. Stop and listen to what you're saying. You might not believe your ears.
I wish you were never born.
Take time out. Don't take it out on your kid.
Welcome back to Louisville. This is Herb Brown with Kearney State football. They're taking on Fort Hays State this afternoon. Fort Hays State leads the ball game 18-14. Kearney State led at the intermission 14-13. But Fort Hays State came out of the second half with fire in their eyes. They scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, along with a 2-point conversion and a PAT to make it 18-14. McGriggs calls the count. He's in a pro set. Rolls straight back, wants to throw. He's got plenty of time. Now pressure from Kirk Metzger. Rolls out to the right. He throws it up for Tracy. No, that's Crandell. And Crandell scores a touchdown. 16-yard touchdown catch for Kenny Crandell. So Kearney State digging their own grave here defensively. That makes it 24-14. And looks like Fort Hays will try a PAT. looked like they had the game well under control in the first half, and Fort Hays State came out with fire. And that looks like it's wide to the left. So the score, 24-14. Fort Hays State comes out quickly in the fourth quarter. A 16-yard pass from McGriggs to Crandell makes it 24-14 Fort Hays State. So Roy Miller getting ready to kick off to Travis Valine and Doug Banks. They're back deep for Kearney State. And Miller has a kick up in the air. Looks like it'll be taken by Banks, 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he comes out. He comes out to the 17-yard line. That'll be a 19-yard return for Banks. But Kearney State starts out in the 17, where if he would have just downed it in the end zone, they would have started from the 20. Kearney State will take over at their own 17-yard line, first down and 10. Hopefully Russ Harvey and the offense can get things together here in the fourth quarter. Kearney State down by 10 points. Harvey with 2 wideouts, the I set. Harvey rolling out to his left side, and it's a pass to Donnie Lee, and it's complete. That's an 8-yard pickup for Kearney State. Kearney State will be looking at a 2nd and 2 situation now. Ball marked at their own 18.5-yard line. Same formation as we saw in the last play, 2 wideouts, Valine and Banks, the I set. Harvey calling the count, and he hands off to Greg Smits up the middle for what appears to be a first down. Looks like they may bring the chains in, but where they mark it, it looks like it's just short. It'll be 3rd and 1. Looked like Smith's got a bad spot on the ball that time. 3rd and 1 at Kearney State's own 25.5-yard line, 26. Valine and Banks split out. Kearney in the I set. And handoff to Aerosmith up the middle. He battles for about 2 yards, and that'll be a first down for Kearney State. 1st and 10 from Kearney State's own 28-yard line. Mike Long bringing in the play from the sidelines, and Donnie Lee comes out. Kearney State breaks the huddle. Valine and Banks both split to the bottom part of the screen. Fort Hays State, a 4-man front, possibly blitz. And they come out of it. Looks like it was going to be a quick pass, but instead it's a quick option over on the left side, or the right side, to Greg Smits. He's up to the 30-yard line, a pickup of about 2.
Greg Smits, tailback on the carry, tackled by Greg Yost. 2-yard gain, 2nd down, Kearney State.
Kearney State over the ball, 1 wide out. That's Banks at the top part of the screen. Harvey calls the count. And he rolls out to his right side. The pass intended for Long, and it's a completion up to the 43-yard line of Kearney State. So that'll be a first down for the Kearney State Antelopes.
On the catch, the pass by Russ Harvey. Mike Allen on the coverage. Kearney State first down.
Looks like they marked the ball on the 44-yard line. Kearney State 1st and 10. So Kearney State moving the ball, apparently on offense now. Hopefully they'll get things together and score a quick touchdown. 2 wideouts, top part of the screen. And Harvey calls the count. Looked like 54 for Fort Hays State was a little early getting across the line of scrimmage. That would be Chuck Neuschoffer. But looked like he was dragged offside by a loper. So what I thought was going to be a penalty against Fort Hays State turns out to be a penalty against the Antelopes. 1st and 15 from their own 39-yard line. Banks split to the top part of the screen with Valine split to the bottom. Harvey over the ball. And it looks like a quick pass to Valine. It's a completion. He goes out at the 50-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd down and 4 yards to go for the Kearney State Antelopes. Ball right on the 50-yard line. And once again, Nolan Byer in the game. He's listed in the program as a defensive back, but looks like they're using him as a slot back, or a running back this time, and Herman Fuller in the game also. Harvey calls the count, and it's a reverse play to Fuller. Fuller has not been able to get the handle on the ball this whole game. It's about the 3rd time he's fumbled. So Fuller finally got the handle, turned around the corner, and picked up about 2 yards. Kearney State will be looking at a 3rd and 2 situation.
Nebraska 21.
Third and 2 from the Fort Hays State 48-yard line. So Kearney State really needs to get a 1st down right here to keep this drive alive. Banks split to the bottom part of the screen with the eye set. Harvey calls the count. He's rolling out to his right side. Looks like he'll tuck up under, and he is short. He is short. It'll be a 4th and 1. There's no way Harvey made that 1st down. It's a 4th and 1 for Kearney State. And Grauerholtz is out on the field to punt the ball away. So Kearney State with a 3rd and 2 couldn't come up with the 2 yards they needed for a 1st down. Tyrone Tracy going back to receive the punt along with Ken Dean. Grauerholtz has the ball. The kick is up. It's a high kick to the left side of the field. Looks like it'll bounce. It hit a player. That's a live ball, and 45 for Kearney State is recovered. Brad Aerosmith apparently came up with the ball. It touched, it bounced into a Fort Hays State player. That's a live ball if that happens. And hero of the day, Brad Aerosmith, 45. Kearney State's ball.
Ball recovered by Nolan Byer. 1st and 10, Kearney State. Ball marked just inside the 25.
PA announcer says it was recovered by Nolan Byers, but that was 45, Brad Aerosmith. Kearney State takes over at the 24-yard line of Fort Hays State. 1st and 10. Harvey calls the count. Looks like it's a quick pass to the right side, intended for Doug Banks. Banks couldn't get a handle on it. Looks like Harvey threw behind him. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Fort Hays State 24. That's a big break for Kearney State, recovering the ball down there, but they need to do something with it. Two wideouts, Banks to the top and Valine to the bottom of the screen. Harvey calling the count. Looks like a blitz from Fort Hays State. And here they come. All over Harvey was number 10. That is Ken Dean. Looked like they were going to blitz that time, and they did. They were all over Russ Harvey. Ken Dean was. So that's called an incomplete pass since he got the ball away, luckily. Timeout called by Kearney State. With 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Kearney State down by 10. They are losing to Fort Hays State at the moment, 24-14. This is Loper football on KSTV.
In the service, I was the best mechanic around. So when I got out, it was easy to find a job. There was one thing I couldn't find in civilian life. So I joined the Army National Guard. Now I still work full-time in the garage. 1 weekend a month, I get to drive.
Welcome back to Lewis Field. As you see, Russ Harvey over on the sidelines talking to Coach Boroff, trying to get his offense put together. 3rd down and 10. Kearney State has the ball at the Fort Hays State 24-yard line. Of course, they recovered that punt after it hit a Fort Hays State player. But since then, they have not been able to do anything. Vleen split to the bottom part of the screen, Banks to the top, and hopefully we can complete a 10-yard pass here. Harvey calls the count. Fort Hays State showing blitz, and they do. A quick pass to Banks, broken up by 47. That's Rick Ashbrenner who broke up that play. So Kearney State recovers the fumble and comes away with nothing. Darren Grauerholtz in to try a PAT. Hopefully Kearney State can come away with 3 here. Ball marked at the 24. This will be a 41-yard field goal attempt. 41-yard field goal attempt for Darren Grauerholtz. And Kearney State runs a reverse play. Unbelievable. Kearney State with the first down. Kearney State comes up with a strategy.
On the carry, number 34, Nolan Meyer.
Looks like Byers is getting up slowly after that run.
Official timeout.
What looked like to be a first down play from the spot of the ball looks like Kearney State is short. No way. Kearney State apparently short on that. So it'll be Fort Hays State ball. There's nothing you can say about that play. That was a bad spot by the referees. There's no way that Kearney State could not have gotten that first down. Unbelievable. McGriggs calling the count, has 2 wideouts. And he rolls out to his right side. Kransky goes by, misses him. And finally wrapped up by Darren Gunn after he gets 10 yards.
Number 55, Darren Gunn, and number 41, Matt Hart on the tackle.
So Gransky replaced by Garland Bryant. Fort Hays State has a second and less than 1. Ball's on their own 24-yard line. Kearney State needs to put something together and quickly. 9 minutes, 37 seconds left and counting. McGriggs calls the count, and he hands it up the middle to 41. That's Lonnie Hayes.
Lonnie Hayes on the carry.
Hayes forward for a first down for about 3-4 yards. So Fort Hays State will have a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. McGriggs calls the count. He has 2 wideouts to the bottom of the screen. And he tries an option. He tucks it up himself.
Bill McGriggs on
wrapped up immediately by two Kearney State defenders. In on the tackle, 41 and 87. That's Matt Arts and Todd Gransky.
Number 87, Todd Gransky. Second down, Fort Hays State.
So Kearney State on a 4th and 10. Looked like they were going to try a 41-yard field goal. They try for the fake, and the referees gave them a bad spot. Therefore, Fort Hays State has the ball. McGriggs has the ball. He rolls out to his left side, being chased by 55 and 11, Dan Gall. Drags him out of bounds.
Number 11, Dan Gall, for the defensive stop.
Not until he picked up a first down, though. McGriggs picks up the first down. Ball's marked at the 41-yard line for Fort Hays State. Fort Hays State came out of that second half showing that they really wanted to win this ball game. McGriggs calls the count. And he runs forward. It's the quarterback keeper. Tackled by 99, Kirk Metzger. In on the stop, number 70, Mike White. Number 41, Matt Arts.
Number 99, Kirk Metzger on the tackle.
So Fort Hays State now with the 2nd and 6 situation at their own 44.
Just short of the 45.
7:53 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Kearney State behind by 10, 24-14. Fort Hays State has the ball. McGriggs has 2 wideouts the top part of the screen. One is Tracy. And McGriggs rolls out to his right. He passes for Liker.
Pass intended for Jason Liker, incomplete.
But Kearney State defender was there. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for Fort Hays State on their own 44. Kearney State desperately needs to get the ball back to at least score 1 touchdown quickly. Split out to the top part of the screen is Crandell along with Tracy. McGriggs goes back and hands it off to Dean. Thrown down by Gransky. Gransky, along with some help from number 38, Rob Thayer. Gransky wanted that one bad. So a loss on the play.
John Reuter back to the
41-yard line for Fort Hays State. Excuse me, the 39-yard line. So it's 4th and 11. In to punt it is number 88, John Reuter. Banks back to receive the punt. Looks like Kearney State's going to try to block it. Almost got it. That was Scott Baker in there, number 2. Scott Baker, number 2, tried to get a hand on the football, just couldn't quite do it. And the ball goes out of bounds at the Kearney State 17-yard line. So Kearney State will take over at their own 17-yard line. First down and 10. They're down by 10 points here in the 4th quarter with about 6:41 left to go. Kearney State needs 2 scores to at least tie or win the ball game. Harvey with 2 wideouts. They're in the I set. Sends Aerosmith in motion, which was something unusual. Harvey passes to number 31. That's Omar Rogers. And number 10, Ken Dean, is down on the field. He took a pounding by one of the Kearney State defenders. I think it was Aerosmith blocking. Dean is still down on the field. And the Fort Hays State trainers are there looking at him. He took a hit. So we have a penalty on the play. And some words were exchanged from Aerosmith to Ken Dean. Dean said something to Aerosmith when he got up. Face mask was called, and Dean is still saying something to Brad Aerosmith. Aerosmith put a heck of a hit on Dean, and Dean got up and said something back to Aerosmith, but a face mask was called against Fort Hays State, so Kearney State has what I would believe would be a first down. First and 1 from their own 17. Russ Harvey dropping straight back, wants to throw. He has time. Throws to Valine, it's complete. Valine tackled by 38 and 42. Kelly Sandell and Delbert Trell in on the tackle. And Valine gets a first down for Kearney State. So Valine completes the catch at the Kearney State 37-yard line. It's first and 10, Kearney State. Harvey calling the count, could be an audible. 42 looks like he's blitzing. Harvey rolling out to his left side. Tries to pass it to Travis Valine, but a little low on the throw. So it'll be second and 10, Kearney State. So now Ken Dean back in the ball game. He's the one that exchanged words with Aerosmith just a moment ago. So we'll see what happens. 5:50 left in the ball game. Kearney State down by 10. Banks split to the bottom part of the screen. Valine split to the top. Harvey's dropped straight back and intercepted by 38. And penalty flags going down all over. We'll see what this penalty flag is about. It's a parent touchdown for number 38, Kelly Sandell. The flag is down on the field. This could be called back, depending on who this call is against. We'll see what. And they're saying the penalty is against Fort Hays. So therefore that touchdown, apparent touchdown we just saw, was called back. It will be Kearney State. So it'll be Fort Hays State's ball. However, that touchdown was negated. Fort Hays State will take over at the Kearney State 47-yard line, first down and 10. So that really hurt Kearney State, throwing that interception. McGriggs calls the count. And he hands off to number 11, I believe, Keith Dean. No, that was Lonnie Hayes in on that carry. 7-yard pickup for Hayes. It'll be second and 3. Second and 1, excuse me. Fort Hays State over the ball. Second and 1 at the Kearney State 39. That was a 9-yard pickup by Hayes. 2 wide outs, the bottom part of the screen. McGriggs hands off once again to Hayes, and Hayes forward for a first down. Hayes across the 35, down to the 33-yard line. Fort Hays State first and 10 at Kearney State 33-yard line. Less than 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Kearney State down by 10. They need to get the ball back and do something with it. So Fort Hays State has the ball at the Kearney State 33-yard line. 2 wideouts, the bottom part of the screen. One is Tracy, I believe the other one is Crandell. McGrig's calling the count. And he's rolling out to his right side. He tucks up under. Tackled by number 70, Mike White was there.
Mike White, number 70 on the stop,
along with number 40, Troy Schubert, and 55, Darren Gunn. So Fort Hays State will have a 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10, Fort Hays State.
Ball at the Kearney State 33. Four minutes left to go in the ball game. Kearney State really needs to get the ball back. Need to shut down Fort Hays Tigers right here. McGriggs calls the count. There's the eye set. He hands off to number 41. That's Lonnie Hayes again. Hayes forward for about 4 yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Number 99, along with
3rd and 6 for Fort Hays State.
Along with Mike White, number 70.
From just inside the 30-yard line of Kearney State. Now the Fort Hays State fans starting to clap. Sensing the victory, but this one's not over yet. 3:16 left to go in the ball game. Fort Hays State over the ball. It's a 3rd and 6 situation. McGrig's back to pass, getting pressure from Gransky, and they couldn't complete the pass. He tried to pass it to John Reuter, but Reuter couldn't come up with the catch.
Brings up 4th down, Fort Hays State.
So that'll be a 4th and 6 for Fort Hays State.
They only had about 2,200.
Troy Schubert and Matt Arts come in the game for Kearney State. And looks like it's an apparent field goal try for Roy Miller. This will be a 47-yard field goal attempt. And it was high, it's blocked by 23 for Kearney State. Greg Nayberry in there. So Kearney State will take over at their own 32-yard line. In there to block at that time was Nayberry. The hike of the ball, the hike of the ball from Fort Hays State was a little bit high, and they couldn't get it down on the tee. Harvey back to throw, and throws up to Verlaine. Verlaine takes it at about the 44-yard line. He's up to the 48 of Fort Hays State. So a nice completion from Harvey to Verlaine. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Kearney State at the Fort Hays State 48-yard line. That's something Kearney State needs to continue to do. 2 minutes, 51 seconds left in the ball game. Kearney State's down by 10. They need 2 scores to even tie the ball game. But of course, Kearney State would like to come away with a win. Kearney State at 3 and 4 on the year. Fort Hays State 2 and 6. Harvey drops straight back and wants to pass. It's complete to Verlaine, I believe, at the 35-yard line of Fort Hays State. That'll be another apparent 1st down. 1st down for Kearney State on the Fort Hays State 35-yard line, and Coach Boroff wasting no time getting the ball downfield. Harvey to Verlaine twice, and they're down to the 35-yard line. Harvey possibly audibling at the line. Looks like blitzing from Fort Hays State. Harvey drops back, getting some pressure, complete to Doug Banks. That's a 6. That's inside the 25 and down to the 24-yard line. Another apparent 1st down for Kearney State.
Another 1st down, Kearney State.
So Kearney State at the 24-yard line of Fort Hays State. Another 1st down. That's 3 pass plays in a row. So Kearney State picking apart the defense here of the Tigers. Harvey back. He's getting some pressure. He's rolling out to his right side. He passes, Oh, and that could have been picked off. Pass intended for Scott Meyer that time, but Harvey, too much pressure. He couldn't make a good pass on the run.
Intended for Scott Meyer.
So Harvey, 3 out of 4 on this drive. That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the Fort Hays State 24-yard line.
With 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ball game for Boulder, Colorado 27, Nebraska 21.
.222 left to go here at Lewis Field. And Harvey trying to get his men lined up in the right position. Meyer and Banks split to the bottom part of the screen. Banks Meyer in motion. Harvey across the middle. That is complete. Complete to Travis Valine. So Kearney State had 3 wide receivers in the game that time. That's another first down for Kearney State. Down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal to go for Kearney State. They need 2 scores to win this ball game or to even tie it. Kearney State coming over the ball. Banks split to the bottom part of the screen, the eye set. Harvey calls the count. And he drops back. He was looking for a quarterback keeper, and he got some pressure, but, oh, and the ball's loose. That's a touchdown for Kearney State. Unbelievable. Harvey got down to the 3-yard line, fumbled the ball, and I have no idea who covered that, but a Kearney State person got on the ball. That looks like, can't see who it is. Dennis Faze, one of the linemen, gets a touchdown. I love it when this happens. So Kearney State looks like they're going for the 2-point conversion here, looking to win the game, possibly with a field goal. Banks in motion, and he rolls out. Harvey rolls out, pass intended for Mike Long, nothing doing. So Kearney State down by 4 points. They need a touchdown to win the game. Minute 56 left in the game. This is Loper football on KSTV.
Asia has so many people who are hungry and sick. You may think any help we would give them would just be a drop in the bucket, but each drop can make a ripple of hope. Lutheran World Relief has shown that by working together, we can provide knowledge and resources that help people overcome their poverty, grow more food, and improve health care. If enough of us put a drop in the bucket, it will overflow. A message from the Lutheran churches in your community and Lutheran World.
Welcome back to Lewis Field. Looks like Kearney State finally making a game of it in the late here in the 4th quarter. They go down, they score a touchdown. Harvey was down to the 3-yard line and fumbles the ball. Luckily, it rolls into the end zone. Dennis Faze, number 61, an offensive lineman. He's the left guard. He covers the ball for a touchdown, so that's 6 points for him for the year. Looks like Kearney State's going to try an onside kick here. And Grauerholz kicks it straight to number 30. Who just drops to the ground. That's Kenny Crandall.
Onside kick recovered by number 30, Kenny Crandall.
I hate to say that, but that was a bad onside kick by Grauerholz. He should have kicked it more into the ground, have the ball bounce more, with a better chance for Kearney State to recover the ball. Probably something they don't work on a whole lot in practice. So now Fort Hays State has the ball on the Kearney State 47-yard line. 1st and 10. Looks like a blitz coming from Kearney State. Tackle made by Matt Arts and Darren Gunn for Kearney State. Pickup of about 3 yards for McGriggs. Timeout called by Kearney State. There's a minute and 47 seconds left. Fort Hays State's ahead 24-20. So Kearney State takes a timeout, so will we. This is Loper football on KSTV.
The time to begin being a good mother is long before your baby is born. Start by seeing a doctor. Regular medical care beginning early in your pregnancy can prevent problems as your baby develops.
Eat nutritiously, don't use alcohol, and by all means, don't smoke. Get your doctor's okay before using prescription or over-the-counter drugs.
Remember, what you do affects your baby throughout your entire pregnancy. For more information, write the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.
So the Lopers talking things over on the sidelines with Coach Renner, trying to get some defensive strategy together so they can get the ball back and score a touchdown. Kearney State hoping to shut down the Tigers. They have 2nd and 7. The ball's on the 44 of Kearney State with 1 minute 47 seconds left in the ball game. McGriggs calls the count. And he tries to go forward. Not much forward progress from McGriggs. He stopped at the line of scrimmage by a swarm of defenders from Kearney State. And again, Kearney State calls a timeout. Looks like Matt Arts might be hurt. He's slow getting up. Arts looks like he's in pain down there on the field.
Takes the timeout. 1:38 left on the clock.
Arts wants to stay on the field. He pushes Dan Robbins off, says, I want to stay out here. 1:38 left in the ball game. Kearney State needs to get the ball back soon to score another touchdown. Kearney State led the game 14-3 at halftime. Then Fort Hays State came out, put in 2 touchdowns immediately, it seemed like. And Kearney State didn't really know what to do. Now Kearney State's come back to within 4 points. Scores 24-20. Just over a minute and a half left in the game.
One other final score is Morgan State beat Panhandle State 49-13.
Next week, Kearney State on the road taking on Northwest Missouri State. The week after, they take on New Mexico Highlands, a team that Fort Hays State lost to 36-35. McGriggs calls the count. He rolls out to his right side. Pass intended for 86, Liker, but nothing doing. Scott Woodward was there, plus the throw was a little short. So it'll be 4th and 7. Kearney State has no timeouts left. And that was an incomplete pass, so that stops the clock anyway. John Reuter, number 88, in to punt for Fort Hays State. The lone deep back for Kearney State is Doug Banks. Kearney State will try to get a handle on the punt here. It's a high snap. Oh, could have been blocked. It's a terrible punt by Reuter. Bounces at the Kearney State 36-yard line. That will go down in the books as about
36-yard line. Minute 23 left in the contest.
That will go down in the books as about a 7-yard punt. So Reuter, under heavy pressure that time by Kearney State, gets away a terrible kick. Kearney State will take over at their own 36. A minute 23 left in the ball game. Expect Kearney State to air out the ball quite a bit. Harvey drops straight back to throw. Pass intended for Valine. Looks like 27. Mike Allen was there just a little early. However, no flags on the field.
Number 27, Mike Allen. Incomplete, 2nd down.
So Travis Valine was the intended receiver on that play. Now Nolan Byer comes into the ball game for Brad Aerosmith. So Kearney State with 4 receivers in the ball game. Harvey drops back. He's going to air it out long for Valine. And there's a penalty flag. I'll tell you what, that penalty flag may be on Travis Valine. However, he was clapping, so the refs are talking it over out on the field. Looked to me like Valine is the one who initiated contact there, but we'll see what the refs have to say. They say defensive pass interference. So that's a big break for Kearney State. Minute 12 left in the game. Kearney State utilizing the clock very well. So the ball marked at the 41, 46. What they do is they just give Kearney State a first down up to the 46-yard line. So Kearney State at their own 46, a minute 12 left in the ball game. Harvey calling the count. Two wideouts, one to the top, one at the bottom. And they try the reverse. They fake the reverse, and Harvey is hammered. Harvey, a lot of pressure that time from number 83, Greg Yost. Yost was in there all over Harvey that time, and they rolled that ball, an incomplete pass, so that was not a fumble. His hand was going forward, so they just call that an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 for Kearney State, and they're lucky they came out of that one without losing the ball, actually. Banks split to the top part of the screen. Valine split to the bottom. Harvey calls the count. He drops straight back. Looking for Banks. And that looked like 18 was there a little early. But Ron Grundell played it good according to the refs. So it'll be 3rd and 10 for Kearney State. And they'll have to continue airing the ball. Aerosmith comes into the game. So Kearney State, 2 more chances. They're down by 4, 24-20 to Fort Hays State. 3rd and 10 at their own 46. Fort Hays State showing blitz, and they are. Throws too high to Travis Valine. Harvey overthrew Valine. So 4th and 10 for Kearney State, and they need to come up with something here. Otherwise, this game is all but history. Nolan Byer in the game to replace Brad Aerosmith, and this will be Kearney's Hail Mary. All they need is 10 yards for a first down. That's what they'll be trying for. Fort Hays State crowd going wild. And Harvey gets the ball in the air, and that's it, pretty much. So, Fort Hays State will take over at the Kearney State 46. There's 51 seconds left in the game. And apparently Kearney State has lost this ball game 24-20. Kearney State ahead at 11 at halftime. Came out the second half and just let Fort Hays State move down the field. Fort Hays State more than likely will fall to one knee and let the clock run down and do it again. So McGriggs, hands under center. Here goes Kearney State. And he falls to one knee. And he'll do that one more time, and this game is over. So Kearney State looked like they had the game in control in the first half. And looked like they were making a good comeback starting in the 4th quarter, but just couldn't get anything together. Fort Hays State came out with the big plays and got those 3 touchdowns in the second half. Fort Hays State ahead 24-20, 22, 21, 20 seconds, and McGriggs will fall to one knee. So Kearney State falls to 3-5 on the year. State, or excuse me, Fort Hays State improves its record to 3-6. And the game is over, 0-0 on the clock. Fort Hays State has defeated Kearney State this afternoon, 24-20. Next week, Kearney State will be on the road taking on Northwest Missouri State. That game will be played in Maryville. It's a 1 o'clock game. Last time Kearney State played Northwest Missouri State was 1975, and they lost to them in that contest 21-7. So November 11th, Kearney State will be taking on Northwest Missouri State. The following week, November 18th, Kearney State will travel down to Las Vegas, New Mexico